Um, Today, at least the day this video is uploaded, should actually be Ultimate's 5th year anniversary. Um, for a game that's I've been playing since 7th grade. This is kind of crazy, you know. Like, it feels like it was, not too long ago since I was like losing, playing like my first game in 8th grade. I still kind of remember it. I played Pokemon Trainer because he had Squirtle. He was the only one recognized. I have a terrible cough right now. I'm trying hard not to cough right now, but if I cough a lot, you know why. Um, I just kind of wanted to talk about the game, go over some memories I had, or I don't know what. Wow, this I knew. Okay, so I knew Gunner. I have some background footage. It's actually just the game actually playing right in front of me. I knew Gunner was like a good CPU. I didn't realize it's this much better than this Lucina CPU. Wow. Anyway, that's besides the point. I I had ideas. I knew I was gonna do something for the 5th year anniversary. Today's actually the 6th. Tomorrow I actually have part of TAP's Vanta Esports. I actually have a game tomorrow, or not tomorrow. Today's, well, I guess now it is tomorrow. It's Wednesday now, but um, I have a game on the anniversary date. Um, I'm hoping I win. I think I got I can win the whole thing if I do well. But anyway, that's besides the point. What was my point? Memories. I have made friends through this game. If you know me, you probably know I really like this game, right? But I don't think why I like this game so much. It's not just because it's a super fun game, a skill testing game that you can literally learn for thousands of hours and still not master it. It's also just a game that made me friends. It made me kind of who I am, and is. If I didn't have Ultimate, I probably would be a lot worse of a person because Ultimate is what I worked for, to gain respect among my friends. And after that horribly failed, I just forced myself to do better, and that kind of drives a lot of what little work ethic I have. But um, Ultimate, I guess let's talk about what I'm talking about. Um, you know, After kind of starting to play the game for a while, I feel like I'm doing good, but I just can't beat my friends. My friends are all better than me. So I'm like, I'm going to start looking up some guides and see what they say to do. And I start looking at it, and I'm still not getting better. So eventually, I just, I think there's a specific moment. My friend Rodrigo says, John's the most competitive here, but he sucks. And, to me, the two were kind of the same, right? So eventually, it just kind of enlightened me that I can't just learn. I also have to execute. Um, so eventually, I stopped. I just kind of said, I'm gonna stop playing this game as a super. I'm gonna get a little more serious. I'm gonna force myself to play Lucina actually, because she's a super skill testing character. I kind of needed someone to say that my wins are my wins and I do well because of my winning. Lucina kind of fit that bill, and eventually, a Training Wheels character turned into a full on main. Um, as you can see here, I don't think when I picked up Lucina, I ever thought, that was kind of nice for a CPU. That was pretty cool for a CPU. Sorry. Um, when I started playing Lucina, it wasn't really meant to go all the way. I was gonna drop her, eventually go back to Gunner, who I actually made at the time. I made this the Mii Gunner costume playing right now. I made this back all the way in 8th grade. Like, this is the only reason I'm still using such a terrible looking uh costume is literally because I just have been for so long. Um, I think um I'm trying to think. The reason I even main Gunner in the first place is because I just wanted to main someone a little more unique than everyone else. That's the main reason. Plus, I found her gameplay good, so I like playing Gunner. Um, but that's like literally the only reason I even played Gunner because I wanted to play someone like, you know, there are like zero Mii Gunner mains. Capitancito is like the only good one. but like your school probably doesn't have one, and my school did because I did. I was, as I said, I dropped. Dang, dang! Wow, I did not expect that from CPUs. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted by how good the CPUs are. They're surprising me. So that's why I main Gunner in the first place. I'm just trying to think of random stories I can think of. Originally I started Pokemon Trainer. It's because of what's it called? I just like Squirtle. Squirtle's my favorite Pokemon. You see views. Okay. Squirtle's like my favorite Pokemon. I like Squirtle. Squirtle's cool. I've just kind of liked him. I actually know the reason I like him. This isn't Smash related, so I won't talk about it for too long. Trading Pokemon cards. And I wanted to trade my Clink for a Squirtle card. Or I wanted to keep my Clink card. But some guy didn't have. He put it in the stack and didn't think about it. So looking for the Clink card, he just said I could keep the Squirtle card that he gave me. And ever since then, I liked Squirtle. I don't even think it wasn't like I had Pokemon Go yet, which is I think it's this card that caused me to get choose Squirtle in Pokemon Go. Which I guess kind of became my first Pokemon. I guess this Pokemon card would be my first Pokemon, but what's it called? So that's why I like Squirtle. But anyway, Pokemon Trainer. I remember. I think I still have a ton of hours. It's not that I play him that much anymore. I kind of don't play him in the sense that, I've played him a lot and I've kind of gotten good with him. He doesn't interest me as much, really. I think he's a really fun character. He's definitely one of my better ones, I think. Mostly just because I have a good feel for him because I played him so much early on. Well, actually, no. I think early on experience actually kind of hurt my muscle memory for a long time. But I think he has a really simple game plan at like a low level. all of the Pokemon's moves, maybe it's because I've learned them all super well, but all the Pokemon moves, they're all pretty solid, and you can do well with any of them. They're simple enough to where if you got them on random, you wouldn't be complaining. You could figure it out pretty quickly. But I think that dang. Shut up. I'm gonna shut up about the CPU game. I think that I've built him up over time just because, I like coming back to the character every once in a while, like the opposite of Tweak. What is this all about? I don't know, but it's staying in, I guess. I remember. Oh, I remember this one time. It was like so early on, I didn't even know how to use all the buttons correctly. But I developed a strategy to try and beat my best friend. His name was Todd. Or was it Todd or was it like Tad? I think it was Todd. I don't remember. He was an Ike main, and I didn't know how to beat him. So I came up with a strategy. What I would do is I would go Falco, and I would spam Neutral Beam, and eventually, he would take a ton of damage on a stun. It was great in free for alls. I was so sure of this. I lost. We mostly played free for alls at the time too. So, yeah, very impressive of me. I'm trying to remember like other like moments. In my even now, there's one actually. Let's talk about this other player. The person who has probably pushed me the most of any person I know is Samuel. Samuel is like just one of my closest friends. I've like go to his house more than anyone else, and he's probably not gone to my house as much as some of the other friends, but I think I hang out with him a lot more than a lot of his other friends. So we're really good friends, and he's also really good at this game. He's better than me at this game, and it frustrates me to no end. I want to be better than him so bad. But he's probably the one pushing me the most in this game to get better. Because he's good, and I know I'll have to always, eventually try and beat him. Be better than him. If I want to be the best person I know, I gotta eventually beat him, But I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. He's just always kind of been there pushing me just a little bit more. I feel like he might be the most influential person. He was there when I first was like kind of really. I remember what happened is I could beat him early on. I was better than him. I destroyed him. He eventually went to his house. The dynamic's completely different now. Now I can't beat him for the life of me. They recognize kill throws? I didn't even know that. Wow. I didn't know CPUs recognized when they had a kill throw. Shoot. That's really impressive. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so, I remember at first he played Bowser. He was a Bowser man, and all he did was the funny side B cheese, and he hated combos. That was his thing. He hated combos. This was back in, like, 10th grade, 9th grade, right? He now mains Kazuya. What is that movement? Perfect pivoting in Ultimate? That doesn't exist. What are you doing? Anyway, but I remember, his Kazuya is kind of my menace now. He's absurdly good at Kazuya. But, and the craziest part is mostly because he's just good at neutral. That's kind of the crazy part about, his Kazuya. He's just good at playing the game. I'm trying to think. My friend John, really fitting for us both, or really convenient for us both to name John. He was a character who liked playing a ton of different characters, but at the end of the day, he's a Joker man. He doesn't play Joker super combo oriented. He doesn't really like playing this game super competitively, or like grinding this game. He likes grinding Street Fighter V. I don't know why he doesn't see this game as potentially very competitive among friend groups. I think it was my fault. I think I ruined it for him. I think he would have loved this game competitively if I didn't ruin it for him. Same with Rodrigo. Rodrigo and John are actually the two people who I have the most online tags against. Because I would just play them so much. I actually just miss being able to just play with them all the time in school. That's probably where some of my best memories ever came from, just playing them. They're not best memories, best times. I don't have any too strong memories. I do remember that time Rodrigo was the one that pushed me to be competitive. I think I said that before. That line, he was the one that said that line. Pushed me more. That kind of motivated me more than anything else has. Which I think, probably, I don't know if that line did more harm to me or more good. I think it did more good. I think, it was always like, he didn't think by much. It was the kind of thing that you say, you don't think about, but it meant a lot to the other person. Both good and bad, I think. Saying this all now, I've talked to this with Rodrigo before, a few years after it. Like, I think it happened in 9th grade. I think it just boosted my worth ethic in general. Like, my worth ethic, was really bad at the time. Like, I played Fortnite, didn't know how to crank 90s, didn't learn until, like, Season 7, right? Oh my gosh, that gunner just forward aired 5 times in a row. What the heck? Playing like an Elite Smash player. Anyway, I'm just, what was I saying? Now I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, my worth ethic in general just improved because I just wanted to get better at this game. I wanted to say, hey, I'm actually good at something. Because the in-joke was just not only that I sucked at Ultimate. I sucked at every video game. I was just naturally bad at everything. That was kind of the memento around me, and I really, really, really hated that. So eventually I just said, screw being bad, I want to get good. This is kind of, this is my favorite game of all time. This is the game I'm good at. This is the thing I love doing more than anything else. This is my domain. This is the thing I want to share with other people so much. Because I don't mind losing so long as we're both having fun and I'm getting better. Or, even just the fun part, right? I don't mind getting better and suffering. Actually, I do. Yeah, I've sometimes, like, played matches where I'm just not having fun because I'm really frustrated with how I'm playing. That's really bad, but, far and few between, and oftentimes I can just start playing well. I'm trying to remember like all my briefs. Oh my gosh! Before I had a solid foundation on Gunner, I was just terrible. I played everyone. And even after finding a solid foundation as a Gunner main, I still played everyone too much. I still play a lot of characters for fun, but I'm so glad I have a character I ground my character around. Oh my gosh, that wow, Gunner is a good CPU. Like 4 up. I mean, I've been watching it. I've been watching it slowly go up. I didn't comment anything, but now I am. We'll see. We'll see how much it goes by the end. Anyway, this is unlimited time, so I actually have to end the game manually to stop it. But besides the point, um, before I'm so glad I have a character grounded in Lucina, because before I divided my attention so much that I couldn't really learn how to play matchups properly, because I just played all my characters and I played my selfish gameplay. I didn't have a character, and I'm great. It was Lucina. Grateful that it was Lucina, because Lucina's tools are built around being able to, you know, do something that beats what your opponent does. So gave me an essential skill of learning how to play matchups rather than learning how to just mash my good tools. I still mostly just mash my good tools, but Lucina has forced me to kind of think a lot more. And I really like Lucina. I think it's probably the most beginner friendly character. If you're like getting a little more serious, if you're not, if you plan to play one game, play Kirby. Kirby's just really good for playing the basics. But if you want to play, get into kind of competitive, I think Lucina is a great character for that. Actually, no, a surprising amount of Lucina's mains. I think, Jonathan used to be. Michaela is, but she doesn't really play the game. Matthew told me today that Michael. I can say these names, by the way, because no one knows who I'm talking about, but this one people will probably figure out. That Matthew told me that played Lucina. Oh my gosh, one of the funniest times is, I probably shouldn't say this actually. Now that who cares? Michael comes up and says, "You're gonna think I'm weird for this one, but the characters I play are Lucina, Peach, and Zero Suit Samus." And I thought, yep, you're absolutely weird. Granted, I did think he was weird before. I'm joking, Michael, if you're watching this, I do think you're weird for that, but I don't really care. So, no, what's it called? What was I gonna say? I don't know. To anyone I mentioned, by the way, thank you so much for playing with me. If anyone watching this has played a game with me even once, thank you so much. Every game I play of this game actually is just so fun, such a dream. It is genuinely one of the things that gives me the most joy in this, in the world. Just playing Ultimate with a friend, it's so fun. So if you ever played a game against me, even once, thank you so much. I really do mean that from the bottom of my heart. I was gonna talk about the phases of characters I went through. So when I first started playing this game, I started playing Pokemon Trainer. I don't really remember much. I do remember a Wii Fit Trainer main. A Wii Fit Trainer main at one point. I always played a character and a secondary, but I can't remember who else I played with Wii Fit. There was a Wii Fit era. Then there was a Game & Watch Lucina era. And then eventually came Gunner Jigglypuff, then Gunner Roy. Gunner, was at the time my best character. Actually, I think at the time it was kind of the point where you're bad enough to where you can say a different character other than your main is your best character. Now I think by this my point of skill level, I can only say that my best character is my best one, right? Because yeah, but I think at the time I think it was my Gunner. I think my Gunner was my best character at the time, but it was bad. But I remember John saying Swordfire was my best character. Anyway, my point being, is, you know, I played a lot of characters, and honestly, the distraction really hurts your progress. Like, I didn't have a character to ground my gameplay around, so it was kind of difficult to learn the game when I was constantly changing my character. Especially just before I eventually just devoted to Lucina, even just as practice, right? I think at my worst, I was playing like 8 or 11 characters equally. Like, that was like my most amount of, or not equally. I'd play like 4 of them about a ton, and then switch which 4 I was playing, right? And not like every 2 weeks or something. So it was kind of random. Like, if you couldn't tell, it's not very grounded. I didn't even play my gunner much because I just like play my secondaries more. And it was really bad. I played like Roy, Marth, Yoshi, Sheik, Mewtwo way more than I'm mentioning. Falco, Fox. I didn't play Wolf. That came later. Now I have these characters in pocket. I play these characters occasionally for, you know, I'll play a lot of characters for fun, but I won't play, you know, I won't play these characters seriously. I've tried playing my gunner seriously. That's the exception. In serious play, I will go gunner occasionally. I in this Vanta thing I'm doing, for my school taps, I played, what's it called? I played gunner 1 game, and I lost in a 3 stock. So, yeah. And that person also lost too eventually, or just got out of the tournament just recently, or like round 1 of playoffs. So yeah, not great, but it's fine anyway. That's why I strongly recommend to have a main. Oh, so probably the next most important part of the cycle was going to my new school. Early on in my new school, I just didn't really have that many friends. Like, I had friends, but I talked to everyone. Everyone kind of knew me vaguely, you know, as the cool guy, but no one really super knew me, right? And again, I'm a pretty social person, right? I made the Chug Jug with You video, right? And that was for my school. And that actually got me like super popular at my school for like a little while. Actually, it's a small school, so like everyone knew me, but everyone, you know, still knows me for that. But I think most people, my point being, most people like me at the school now. That's my point. Anyway, early on, like before, in the first like 3 quads, I didn't really have a strong friend group. I mostly talked to a friend group, and none of them were gamers. That's the bad part. None of them were gamers. So, I eventually, you know, hear of some guys in the next dorm, in like, we're on like a little field trip. In the next room, they're playing Smash Bros. And I'm like, that's the game I like. Or actually, what happens is Gabe meets me and he plays ping pong with me. That's actually how it starts. He plays ping pong with me, and we talk about Pokemon. Then I hear that, you know, he's playing Smash Bros. And I go to their dorm and ask if I could join them, and they say yes. I win 2 of the free for alls, and then a guy named Brady, second best at my school even now. I ask, he wins 2 of them, and I asked if we could play singles, and I absolutely mop the floor with them. Like, oh my gosh, this gunner has 6 now? Wow. Anyway, I mopped the floor with them. Like, oh my gosh, I destroyed them. But it was in the kind of way that they just were missing fundamentals that I knew. And it was the first time that really showed me I have become better. I became a good player, and I only realized it after seeing someone where I was, after playing people where I was. And I bet if they were to watch their old games with me, they'd go, wow, I've improved so much. Because, like, I'm trying to remember some of the more egregious stuff. They didn't even know what teching was. I showed them what the official, matchup spreads were, right? Or like the official tier list was. I showed them so much. That K rule wasn't good. And all these other things. I kind of I made them eventually, let's go to the next chapter of this, today we're still playing together actually all the time. I'm captain of the esports club too. That's pretty cool. For Smash Bros. Only for Smash Bros. Captain for only Smash Bros. There's other parts of the team and other people are the captains of those, but we're still playing today. I'm still the best of them, but the gap is so close now. I have improved a lot since Beyond the Walls too. So overall, that's what the field trip was called. Overall, we've all just gotten so much better. As players, it's so awesome. Especially because I just got to see it. They don't get to see it as much because they're in the driver's seat. They are doing stuff, but they don't realize how it's getting better. I still vividly remember playing them when they were really bad. And watching them slowly get better and better, little by little, brings me so much joy. Especially when I just stop and think about it. Like, these guys couldn't even touch me before. And now they're like, now Brady's like, he's had times where he's been considered better. But most of the time I'm better. And now he's I'm struggling with him, to be completely honest right now. Come back to me in a week. Maybe I'm not, but at this current moment I am. Like, I think the really difficult part, or the really good part about this whole thing is that I probably just straight up wouldn't have had friends. No joke, if I didn't have that like little field trip thing, there's a good chance I would just leave the school. Go back to my really bad it's a private school. I didn't mention that. Go back to, my public school, which looking back was really not a good place for me to be. Not it was bad. It was probably way better than most public schools are. I think it was pretty good for a public school, but this private school is just an absolute blessing for me. But wow. Anyway, so maybe not for long. Nope, never mind. But I mean, like, I probably just wouldn't have had, I have friends now that I didn't have then. Like, that's really cool. Like, there's a good chance I'd leave. I'm sorry. I'm really not thinking too much. I'm thinking a lot about the CPU's game. Like, what was that? What was that, Lucina? Anyway, more of the story is CPU suck. What was I saying? I'm trying to think of more random memories. I had more like a while ago, but I started recording now, and I didn't really have anything planned too much. But I have more to say. I remember one time with my family, my cousins. I had like a little mini tournament. This is where I really remember the Wii Fit Trainer. I had a little mini tournament. I won because I'm the only one who plays the game. But it was really fun. I just remember that. Wow, that was nice forward air. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think of any particular Dylan. I remember I thought I was better than Dylan. Dylan's considered the best person in my old friend group. He's still, I think, a really good player, but I definitely contest with Samuel, and apparently Samuel's way better than him. So I don't know how that goes. I also kind of lose. I don't lose to John, but I'm better than him for sure. But our games are close. Same with Rodrigo. So I don't know how I stack up against Dylan, especially because they just beat Dylan with no contest. But I do know he struggles to beat Samuel. Nine? I do know he struggles to beat Samuel. So I don't know. Maybe I'm better. No, 10. Wow. Good Gimp. I knew the CPU was better than Lucina. I didn't realize it was this big of a diff. Yikes. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm trying to think. There wasn't a lot in 11th grade was a lot more difficult because we didn't have as much time to play in 11th grade. 10th grade or 9th grade or 8th grade actually. 8th grade we played during lunch. 9th grade we played during lunch sometimes. And I also sometimes played during PC. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! The reveal trailers! Oh my gosh! The reveal trailers! There was nothing more exciting. Oh, let's talk about reveal trailers. By the time I started playing, Joker, had been announced, and Piranha Plant was still available to be obtained as free DLC. Because I have him as free DLC. I probably would. If nowadays, I'd probably pay for him. But originally I got Piranha Plant for free. And Joker hadn't been released yet. But I remember in PE, 8th grade, what's it called came the reveal trailer for what were the two characters? Banjo-Kazooie and Hero came out. And I genuinely, no joke, heard Alfred call Hero Goku and thought it was actually Goku. People are gonna make fun of, like, John. If you're watching this, I thought Hero was actually Goku. I'm not gonna get made. I'm gonna get made fun of for this. What's it called? But it was so exciting watching that, like, reaction. Because I think we watched the reaction class, not the or no, I watched it the day before. I watched it the day before and came back, and then I'm trying to remember Harry's reveal. I think I watched that one on my own, at home. Byleth, I remember because I had my phone on me and the other guys didn't, so I actually watched it early before the other guys, and I think I had my phone because I was at, like, home or something a little early, so I watched it, and I got to tell all the guys about Byleth before, like, they got to even see the trailer. I thought they would be top tier. I thought they would be a really good character, top tier. Their distance is crazy. They become a low tier, and then MKLeo just says, actually, no, they're top tier, and then just top tiers all over the place. He said it was top tier in time, and then proceeded to top tier. Anyway, but then after that, it was a long time after that reveal trailer. It was so cool. When it came to Min-Mins, I think that happened in 9th grade. Quarantine was then. Yeah, quarantine was then. I thought the character would be very annoying. Turns out it was, but my friend Rodrigo plays them a lot. He doesn't really play the game anymore. But he still, whenever he does play, he plays Min. And then thinking, and then with Steve is probably the greatest one. There was actually 0 characters I cared about, just to be dead honest. I literally did not care about any characters getting in. Except Minecraft Steve. I wanted Minecraft Steve in this game. And I was ecstatic when I was watching PE with Julio. I was in PE, and I saw the creeper. I saw the little block particle effects, and I said, "Minecraft! It's Minecraft, Steve!" I was actually ecstatic. Like, I don't think I've popped off harder since then, but I think, for a PE class, everyone's watching us. I literally didn't even care. Neither did Julio. We literally did not care if everyone was looking our way. We were so happy about Minecraft Steve in Ultimate. It was so awesome. Um, I'll never forget Minecraft Steve getting in, especially because I watched it for the first time with Julio there live. Oh, that was so cool. Um, and then the next character, what was it? Um, oh, Pyramithra. I don't know much about Xenoblade, but I mean, I could look at them and say, I think I mostly thought I remember day one. I went over to Samuel's house. And we played Pyramithra, and his parents, they're Christian parents. Actually, I should say Catholic. Not that I'm not a believer. I am, but they have little kids. They probably wouldn't care if there wasn't little kids, but they're the kind of Christian parents with little kids that they care a little bit more. I wouldn't say they're egregious with stuff like that, but Pyramithra, I mean, if you looked at the characters, if you looked at their designs, you might see why you wouldn't want little kids. But they said it was okay at the time, for that day, and we just played them and we labbed them and we learned them. It was so fun. I think I liked playing Pyra more, especially they were sword fighters. I think now Samuel actually mains them. He doesn't main them actually. I lied. He mains Kazuya, like I said, but there was a time where he would call himself a Pyramithra main. Because at the time he just really only cared about the tier list. I've think since then, I've told him, hey, you don't even care about playing this game competitively. Why do you care who you main? Being super strict. So then he called himself a Pyra. I think he's called himself Kazuya main since then. And he's even looking back at his Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is probably like not his OG main, but he's probably the character he's most, Donkey Kong is Donkey Kong. And if you know him, how do I describe it? He is monkey. He has a lot of monkey jokes at his house, especially Donkey Kong jokes. In his household. His household is filled with gamers. He's got his brother Noah, Eli, and his sister Anna Grace. All of them are gamers and Nintendo gamers at that. Like, they all play Smash Bros. I think. They're all like a really close family, by the way. They're like some of the most awesome people. If you guys are watching this, probably Samuel's watching this, but if anyone else from Samuel's household is watching this, you guys are the best. But I also just noticed that Mii Gunner's name actually changes to this name you gave your character. I've actually never noticed. I thought it was Mii Gunner this whole time. I never noticed that it actually changed the character's name to, like, this character's name is Mary. That's why I named them in 7th grade, or I guess her. I guess them. I guess it can be either a guy or a girl. I guess it's an it, really. It's just a thing. Why am I debating pronouns of a fictional character? But what's it called? I've just never noticed that. Wow, I'm still learning things about Ultimate. I actually feel like that was like a not important mechanic, but a surprisingly impactful mechanic that I just didn't know about because it's like kind of niche but impactful. I can't remember what it was that I learned, but I never noticed. I never knew that, and I was like, when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's cool. I can't remember, and I don't think I can tell you now. But I've never noticed that, especially because you even look at Lucina; it's all capitals, but they actually gave the same casing that I gave my character. Huh, that's cool. Anyway, there's Sans in the game. That was pretty funny. I'm trying to think of the other reveal trailers. Kazuya. I don't remember where I watched that. I think by that time, I kind of left my old school, went to my new school. And at the time, I didn't really know anyone. Sora came out. No, that was 2021, right? So, yeah, Sora and Kazuya were either summer or at my new school. So I didn't really get to hype out with any friends, especially because they came before I met my friend group, which came about 3/4 of through my first year, so about Marchish, around my birthday, ironically. But um, I'm trying to think. Um, what are like some more things I can think of? Um, let's talk about some like competitive stuff that I think is neat. Um, I remember when MKLeo was the GOAT, and he was just so much better than every other player, and now he's like not even like considered potentially #1 in the world. That's crazy to see. Like I'm just wow. Also, I saw him recently play Pichu versus Lucina versus Pichu. That matchup's awful. Like I'm not a good player, but even I can tell that matchup just sucks. Like what? And like I checked out after I saw that, I was like, don't other Lucinas think this too? And I checked it out. Yes, other Lucinas also think this matchup's awful. Why is he playing Lucina versus Pichu? Like what? maybe after the 5-year anniversary, he's going back for nostalgia's sake. He's like, I played Lucina day one. I'm gonna try Lucina. This little Lucina thing again, and just saw the match and was like, nope. um. Oh yeah, I remembered my non. I remember the amiibo scene. So I'm actually gonna put it in my hand right now. Donkey Kong. His name is Turbo. This is the actually kind of a nightmare amiibo. I trained him well. He's actually kind of challenging for a non-optimal amiibo. Amiibo, there's an optimal way to train them to fight other amiibo. There is just the best way. And this is a non-optimal one, but it kind of beats other non-optimal ones. It's like surprisingly good at doing that for no reason, really. Um, I remember the Amiibo Raid Boss tournament. And there was like 7 Incineroars in top 8 and like 1 King K. Rool. And I remember I knew at the time what like really optimal Amiibo play was. And I was like, oh boy. Um, that was certainly gameplay. I guess I should actually describe it for the people who don't know. The Incineroar optimal level, Incineroar just spam side B. And that's all they do. That's all they actually do. Actually, no, you're supposed to at ledge down smash, but no, that's all they do. It's just spam side B because the AI actually just don't know how to beat it. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna keep sharing stories. It's actually getting quite late, but I don't care. This is more important. I only get one chance to make a 5-year anniversary video, so I'm gonna do it now. I'll be right back. Just right and Megunner has 14? 14 now? Wow. Hopefully I cut this. I probably, if I didn't, sorry. I'm lazy, and I wanted to make sure. Anyway. Let's get to the point. Why am I putting my headset on? And I'm not using the right mic. There we go. Now we're all set up. I think I'm trying to think back to my bad. I'm trying to think back to my bad habits. Let's talk about some things I've grown from. Obviously, not knowing how to play the game. My earliest mistakes, they actually, after dropping Pokemon Trainer, I come back and try to learn the character a bit more. I'm a lot better, right? I try learn the character again. And I'm actually still haunted by my terrible bad muscle memory from like years prior. Like I'm side being to recover when I meant to up B every time, and it's actually shocking. Like I'm genuinely shocked how impactful the muscle memory was and like the bad habits. Eventually I break them, right? Oh how did they if you're wondering, I actually like added these little transitions just to add some, variety to the gameplay. I didn't want to just look at the same stage forever. So, you're welcome. Anyway, what was the point? Some bad habits I've like grown out of. I think I used to just forward smash that ledge. That was kind of how I edge guarded. I just, called a read and forward smashed, and eventually I just broke that. Um, I was pretty good at reading, but eventually I got in a good habit of reading with less risky options and, also waiting and reacting. I have a great edge guard game. So, and ledge trap game. Probably one of my better aspects, actually. I have a really good edge guarding game. I think I used to just, I don't think I ever had the issue of rolling as much as most people. Mostly because I just knew it was an issue and I avoided letting myself develop it. But on the contrary, I don't spot dodge now because of it. Because I just don't roll or spot dodge, and it's a really bad habit now. Because I really should be spot dodging a lot more. I should be rolling a lot more, but I just don't. And I don't know if it's because of that early non-spot dodging, so I don't like consider it a thing. I also don't spot dodge and roll. Like I'll just always spot dodge in place, and that's a really big problem. I used to down smash a lot. I just thought down smash is kind of a niche move on a lot of characters for not really a strong reason. It just kind of is meant to fulfill a function that no other move really can. In a niche scenario, hit you on both sides. But there was an era where I just down smashed way too much. I just thought it was a cool move to hit, so I went for it way too often. But I don't do that anymore, obviously, because I'm a better player now. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. Anything like with Gunner? I still do to some extent. I just always reverse special slash be reversed the wrong way with Gunner. By accident. I'm just trying to down B at ledge and I'll do it. At least the snapback isn't as bad as it is in Nick All-Star Brawl 2. But I'm not gonna mention that game anymore. This game's about Ultimate only. I was talking about amiibo stuff. I was not a good player because there's they're optimal amiibos. There are certain amiibos just that are objectively correct. Kind of. It's a little weird because it's about how close you can get to. Can you slightly make your amiibo slightly more optimal than the other guy next to you? I don't know how much the amiibo meta has developed since then. I saw the Amiibo Doctor video, when the Meta Amiibo Doctor video came out, but I left shortly after Joker and Hero released. That's about when I left the Amiibo scene. I remember the first tournament I entered, I didn't have any of my Amiibo with me, so I bought like an Isabelle and trained that. And I entered my first tournament with that. And I did pretty. I like took a name. It's obviously looking back, none of the Amiibo were optimal. The Smashdown. I played in the most messed up tournament of all time. All right. If you don't know, slow super armor is broken. It's just an absolute broken ability you can give to your Amiibo. There's actually 5 abilities that are just so broken objectively that it doesn't matter what Amiibo you give or how you train it, they're just gonna win. Super armor, slow super armor, auto heal, great auto heal, and what's it called? I think it's Armor Knight or heavy armor. It's one of those two. I think it's heavy armor. I don't know. It's the one that greatly increases your attack, greatly increases your defense, but slows you down. Yeah, being fast is not a big problem in Amiibos. And hitting hard while being able to take hits is just completely 100% always favorable in Amiibo battles. Which, even though it doesn't, have hit stun canceling, it's just super good. Those 5 abilities are absurdly broken. But there was a clause in this tournament that stated if your Amiibo was, I can't remember the exact wording. If your Amiibo I don't remember, but it was worded in a way that said any Amiibo above C tier could use slow super armor, and any Amiibo D tier and above, and any Amiibo C tier and below or above could use auto heal. It's just completely messed up. Just actually 100% messed up. There was a typo, and the other thing is this tournament had Battlefield, Small Battlefield wasn't even released. Battlefield, Final Destination, and well, I can't remember. Great Cave Offensive. We almost had the world's worst Amiibo game, where we had Great Cave Offensive, and 2 slow super armor Amiibos. That almost was a real game. Also, midway through the tournament, they just added Mementos. They actually just added Mementos for no reason. And it was so funny. Like, it might be the greatest tournament I have ever been a part of, because it was just so bad. And there was an actual top player there competing for the prize money that no one ever got. Because he just he quit the time they tried redoing it, because he just realized he wasn't gonna get the money for doing it. But that was a nice parry. Wow. Anyway, I'm trying to think. That was also a nice parry, by the way. It was just such a poorly run tournament, but it was so funny. It was so memorable. I talked to this girl named 123 Boy. She was pretty. She was quite surprised when I announced that I wasn't trolling. Great Cave Offensive was a legal stage. I was trying to convince her to play our set on Great Cave Offensive because it would be so funny. Like this tournament by now is completely ruined. There is no actual value in this tournament at a certain point. I saw the great super armor. I was like, or the super armor. I was like, come on, please play this tournament for the memes with me. I have her like Switch added, and I just occasionally see her playing Unite. But what's it called? It was so fun. My gosh. And I remember for the Amiibo raid boss, or for the raid boss, if you don't know, the raid boss open was held by Toctopus. I actually just overslept that one. Whoops. It would have been cool to see. I actually almost took my Donkey Kong. That is not optimal whatsoever. Almost took a game off of a fully optimal Donkey Kong. Incineroar. Everyone in the VC was popping off, especially because it was like a reverse 3-0 if he would have won. It would have been so cool. Of course, it's Incineroar, so he did win. But I think it made him actually go back to go and train the Donkey Kong, his Incineroar, to make sure it had a little bit more side B in him. So he actually just went back after that. So, you know what? I take that. But I remember this other Mother Ball. There's this game mode that I kind of half created called Mother Ball. So there's Mother Ball. Ness Lucas. There's a video on YouTube called Ness Lucas Baseball, or Competitive Ness Lucas Baseball. I can't remember what it's called. That basically there was a game where you could basically play baseball with the two guys, and some guy wanted to turn it into a real competitive stage. Eventually, I was watching this streamer named Mismo, which I also have, I was seeing him even just the other day, just using his Twitch to watch his print. But Mismo, I remember he played this once, right? And I asked if I could, instead of playing Ness or Lucas, I could play Isabelle. And from that day forward, I was the main component to all character Ness Lucas Baseball, which the stage is called Mother Ball, so we call it Mother Ball, or all character Mother Ball. And I learned a lot of interesting things about a niche game mode that literally no one other than anyone I asked to play with me is going to ever play. It's a fun game. I think it's very fun. There's a lot of niche stuff. It's kind of broken, which is kind of like, I think half the characters have to be like banned if you want to play in any competitive way. But it's fun. There's a lot of stuff I remember from Mismo. I think that's like the first online group I was really ever a part of. For better and for worse, I learned a lot about the internet through them. I remember it was really, for the most part, though, it was really awesome, really cool. I remember Sentinel and Icy. They were always cool, and Ling Ling. All of them were pretty cool. So was Mismo. I was actually a moderator on his Twitch chat, and still am, but he doesn't use his Twitch. But anytime I see him streaming, I join. What ended up kind of killing his Twitch is that Xbox fixed the issue that allowed you to stream Nintendo Switch gameplay through the console. So he lost his ultimate player base, or his watch base. And eventually, I don't think he doesn't stream anymore. So big sad there. What else? I'm hoping one day maybe I watch this in the future and just find some random part of this. Just watch that for a bit. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't want this recording to end. I'm having so much fun just talking about Ultimate. I don't want this recording to end. I'm trying like everything I can do to keep this going just a little bit longer. My Donkey Kong, though, is a menace. Genuine menace to anyone who plays it, because it's actually particularly good at beating both people and amiibo. Obviously non super good amiibo, but it's pretty good at beating people. Like, it will destroy you. Not just because it's absurdly overpowered. I mean, it is mostly because it is absurdly overpowered. It has terrible neutral, but it hits you with hard attacks. Oh, I think what I think I beat it once with cheese, but I've never legitimately beat it. Actually, I might have legitimately beat it. I think now a lot of my friends could beat it because they just improved at the game. But boy, oh boy, this Donkey Kong is not easy. But I guess, yeah, since playing Ultimate, I made a ton of my friends. Like, a lot of the friends I mentioned throughout this, I met through Ultimate. Like, I probably wouldn't talk to Dylan ever if it wasn't for Ultimate. Gallo mostly know through Ultimate, or because of Ultimate, also because we had PE together, but a lot of it was because Ultimate, right? Something to do. Lindsay and Rodrigo. I think Rodrigo I met through hanging out with another guy and playing Sword and Shield when that came out. But I don't think we would have been as close as we were if it wasn't for Ultimate. You know? I think with Lindsay, we played Fortnite first together. Not Lindsay. I guess now I can't say his first name, but this person that he knows I'm referring to him as we met mostly first through Fortnite, but we mostly talk through or we mostly probably bonded together through what's it called, Smash Bros. Especially because now, although it's not his favorite, he still likes Ultimate, but he doesn't like Fortnite anymore. So of our, like, the games we can all play together, Ultimate is at least something we, maybe not all of us equally want to do, but it's something we can do. Where Fortnite, he doesn't like it. Actually, he'll still play Fortnite with us if we ask really nicely, but he'll like it a lot more when we play Ultimate together. And I think even John, who like never liked playing Ultimate seriously, like I said before, he eventually he eventually played me once. 21. Wow. He eventually played me once. Like, we're both trying our hardest in a serious match, and he said that was like the first time he's ever really liked doing that. He's never really liked going all out in this game, but against me, he liked doing it. It was pretty recent when he said that. With no items on. We don't. It was still a goofy stage, but that's fine. I like playing with him. I'm willing to accept some items and bad stages to play with him. Especially after Nasby 2, I using items in that game gave me a little bit more appreciation for items. I'm not a big fan of items, but I don't adamantly hate them now. I mean, I don't like them, but and then Samuel, I actually just straight up wouldn't be friends with him today. Like, I wouldn't hate him, right? I would like be able to, I probably wouldn't know him now. I probably would have actually just forgotten him by now if it wasn't for Ultimate. It wasn't for inviting me just to hang out, and now he's like actually just one of my closest friends. He's literally taught me so much. His family is actually one of the most amazing families. Like, there's so few families as close and tight as his. Especially because of him. He makes awesome, fun games that are goofy and just so good. Yeah, they're just awesome people. I could keep talking about this game forever. I have so many other like tidbits, but I gotta end this at some point. Happy 5 years, Ultimate. Here's to another. Well, probably not 5 more. Probably Smash 6 will come. But here's to another 5 years of Smash. We'll see how long Ultimate makes it, but what is it called? For what it's worth, Ultimate, you are probably the reason that I've grown as a person. I've made friends. Thank you, Ultimate, for everything you've done, and thank you to every single person I have ever played with in this game. Thank you so much. All right, bye.